Welcome to Find It. I have an extra special guest. It's my daughter, Victoria Bettendorf, is joining me again for a little mother-daughter duo. And it's going to be a little bit about her and some candid conversation. Then we're going to share some of our favorite things, tried and true, no gatekeeping. Bob Donnell, hey, Mark Rodriguez. Oh, awesome. I didn't know if anybody would join us live at a different time. So I'm going to stretch it out, get ready for a good show. So we're going to show a quick little intro, and Tori, Victoria is her name, but we call her Tori. She will be right back with us. Oh my gosh. Hi, Miss Thing. How are you?
Well, I'm good. How are you, Mama?
I'm great. I'm great. Two separate locations, but we're coming together to do this show, and I can't wait to share this out. So it made my heart warm. I just saw Bob Donnell say we love your daughter, and we so appreciate you watching, Bob, and I love her too. And
Yeah.
I know the real hi, Mark, Debbie Schultz Bettendorf. Aw, thanks, Bob. So we're going to go a little deeper into what's going on with Tori right now, and then we're going to share some of our favorite things. But before we do that, let's start let Tori tell everybody who may have not met you at the last podcast who you are and what you have going on right now.
Hi, I'm Debbie's daughter. Most people know me by Debbie's daughter, Tori. And right now I'm in Columbus. I was on the couch with Mama last time, but I'm in my little studio apartment in Columbus. I just got out of a class at law school, so I attend Capital Law School. I'm in my second year. Right now, I'm doing a little interning job at Galloway Law, so I'm there. It's like a family law, domestic law place, and yeah, I'm just living the dream. If you hear anything in the background, it's my Doberman. She's in her crate right now. I gave her a bone, so hopefully she's good. That's another thing going on in my life. I'm a mother.
You're a dog mom. So you're a dog mom, and anybody that watched you on the last show knows that was a great decision. Oh
yeah. Oh, and there's the little pickle Bambi.
Yeah. So this is the other dog she rescued, and then went to college. So she's my baby. Bam.
See, there she is.
Uh-oh. Okay, so right now, here lately you've been going through a few little things.
Yes.
And
I know we're live right now. I have to make her quiet.
Okay. So while she's there, I will tell you, Tori is not going to go into depth into what she has going on in her life right now, but she's got stuff going on. Like every chapter of everyone's life, you go through things and you work it out. And she's just going to touch a little bit on that because we are being 100% transparent. And, we just feel like sharing is caring, and it can help other people. And so we'll talk a little bit about what she has going on after she probably goes and bangs on the Doberman's crate. I told her, be ready for this. Upstairs.
That is so embarrassing. Sorry.
That's okay. So let's talk about what you have going on with your life right now as far as emotions and
there's a lot going on with emotions. We could be here all night. First off, everybody take note, because Mom always says, I have a birth week. This week and this weekend, it's my birth weekend. My birthday is Friday. So there's a lot going on in a almost 24-year-old's life emotionally. So we could be here all night. But I think that I'm working through some things. I'm finding it for sure. And I think that life is all about finding it. So I am, working through some stuff. And I think most of it is being alone is a big thing. I'm alone a lot. I do have Omi, the problem child. But I think that learning to be so good with yourself that you like spending time with you, and you're good all all this. You think all of this is a party. So that's what I'm working through right now. But yeah, it's a great journey. I'm excited and positive working through it.
Yeah. But there are times where, I mean, let's just be real here because it's not all smiles and giggles. And yeah, you've been raised to put on a happy face and face the world and not be a Debbie Downer, which I hate that word. But because your stuff that you have going on in your life isn't other people's problems, and you've been raised that way as I was. But to a certain degree, when we're doing a podcast like this and you're explaining what you're going through, yeah, you need to be positive and put on that for yourself, but it's difficult. The
Well,
stuff you're going through is
there have been
difficult.
days it is difficult. There have been days where isn't all rainbows and sunshine. You know this as well as I do, Mom. I call my mom and say, I literally cannot be by myself right now. I am so sad. And for 6 years, I had somebody else living in my space with me. And when we separated and, I moved out on my own, I learned really quickly that just to have somebody else there with you is such a comfort. So to be here alone, I was like, Mom, I need you here. Like, this is something that I need. I can't be alone. I think that the scariest thing was for me to look myself in the mirror, having a full breakdown, people. Having a full breakdown, sad. I have never felt the type of sadness that I felt in the past couple of months and been like, oh my God, I cannot be by myself right now. I cannot be by myself because I'm so lonely and sad. I need somebody else just to talk to me about, what show are you watching, Mom? What's going on in your life? Just take some of my mind off of my life. I think that was the biggest thing. Still is. And I have really good days. And I will say this, and I'm blabbing on. I will say this for people out there. I myself get very scared when I'm having a good day now because I think, oh God, this is a good day. Tomorrow might be a bad day. And I'm terrified of the bad days. And they come and they creep up on you. Because when you're living a good day, you're like, oh my God, I was so sad a few days ago. And I didn't even know I was so sad a few days ago until now. I don't ever want to go back to that sadness. I don't ever want to see that again. But you will. And you know that you will. And I think one thing Dad told me was never have too high highs and never have too low lows. Try to keep it at a certain level so you're not all over the place. But then we're human. We're going to be all over the place some of the times.
He isn't.
Very.
He's like, okay, so what have you been doing that you can share with other people to help your mental health and your emotions?
Support for my family. Better help. I am a law student. I have no time. I have a dog. I have no time. And the transit part of the work of finding a therapist in my area that I like, going there, sitting down, having a conversation and leaving. I know it sounds terrible, but the point I am in my life right now, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to go do that. BetterHelp is an app, #sponsor us, that I use. And I have a therapist that I video chat with every week. And I talk to her and she helps me through things, and and talks about my week. I also journal. I've never been big on manifestation and journaling. Never in my life. My life has always been like, I'm bullheaded. I'm going to get through it. I don't need all that. I thought it was silly, really. I was like, okay, therapy, I didn't think was silly. Journaling and meditation, I thought was a big sack of S word, okay? Big sack of it. And I started doing it every morning and anytime I'm anxious about something, even if it's before class. I'm like, okay, I need to write out what I can control. I can control my attitude. I can control my effort.
You can? I've never been able to control your attitude.
I can control my attitude, not Mom.
Thank God for that.
I can control how I treat others, how I present myself, the words that come out of my mouth. I can't control other people, and I can't control the weather. I can't control anything. Yes.
Kelly.
I'm glad that you journal, Kelly.
Oh, hey, Ken.
hello. But yeah, I do that now and it helps. And I had to give in to doing it and saying, Tori, do it. Even if you think it's a sack of crap, do it. Do it. Because someday you'll look back and be like, it helped. And it does. It really does help.
Yeah. So that's good news, and it's one day at a time, people. You know, I mean, we're going to have our good days and bad days, but if you're being proactive, and when you're really sad, it's difficult to kick yourself in the hind end to do these things. But if you just slowly and surely do these things, it definitely helps. And if you have a support person to just reach out to and talk to, just to, as a sounding board, it's so helpful.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm the sounding board, and there have been times where I've showed up at her house and her apartment, and she has said, "Don't ask me any questions. Just be here."
Yeah.
Because I have a
Sometimes I don't
tendency
wanna
to
talk.
be, yeah,
Sometimes I don't want to talk about the issues that's going on because I'm high functioning anxious person. And I always have been, since I can remember. And that means that, and here's another thing about me specifically, and hopefully people can relate to this. I'm high functioning an anxiety person and I'm highly motivated. And I know that sounds like a humble brag, but stick with me. I am so anxious that my body, I'm so anxious that I can't sit and be sad. So a lot of people are like, Tori, feel your feelings. Have a day to be sad. I'm 2 hours in my bed crying, and then I'm like, I'm bored. Like, I need to get up and do something proactive for my life because sitting here and being sad is doing nothing. Now, depression's a big thing. Dalton, my brother, suffers with it, and he can be secluded for weeks and not like, and it's just depression's a different breed of mental illness. Okay, I'm anxious and I'm in a point in my life where I'm sad, but I'm anxious enough to keep going. And a lot of people from the outside think, oh, she's fine. She's good. Look at her in the gym at 5 a.m. Look at her at the library till 9 o'clock at night. Look at her going to class. She can get a shower and wash her hair. She's not sad. People, know that everybody harbors their shit differently.
she can't take it.
I can't take it. I got to be a trash mouth at least once. I get one cuss word per podcast.
You can say what you want. I don't care.
I think that if ever I don't look at somebody and their social media and how they present themselves and say they're doing fine, because I know I'm fighting for my life. I'm struggling. So, and I'm up doing stuff, but I'm high functioning anxiety. I'm like, I can't stop. Like, I have to go. I have to do stuff. I have to, if I'm not bettering myself every day, I'm not showing up for myself. And I think that part of spending time with me, learning about me, is that I have to love myself first. I have to be like, you know what? If I'm not going to show up for me, I'm not going to show up for anybody else because I'm not even going to like me. And whenever I don't want to get up and it's 5 o'clock in the morning and I want to go to, God, the only time I have to go to the gym, and I love the gym. It's some of my therapy. I say out loud in my alone place, get up for yourself and do it for yourself. And that makes me get up.
Oh my gosh. The presentation I did at Ohio University, it came to me, and maybe it was from you, your inner voice inside of me. You have my voice in your head. I got your voice in my head. And most of the time it's saying the F word, but when it's your voice. But I said to the students, I said, look, show up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
In a world where we rely so much on, oh yeah, how many likes do I get on my video? What does this person think about me? What's someone else going to do for me? It's like, no, we've got it all wrong. Like, show up for yourself. Be there for you.
Yeah.
And one of the other things before we start these questionings, because I got permission to ask questions, but she doesn't know what the questions are going to be. And I love it. And I want everyone, when I ask her a question, to think about how you would answer this question too. Mm-hmm. But showing up for yourself is such a huge thing. And I think that that's something that, Tori, you have been learning to do, and also just delve in a little bit more about how you realized in recent that you weren't really sure if you liked yourself or if you even knew who you were.
Like a moment
No, it's been recently that you've thought, oh my gosh, I need to figure out who I am by myself without anybody else around.
Oh, I think that there was one moment where I thought, it's like, in a way, I know who I am. I guess I know my morals. I know how I was raised. So I've always lived by those, but there's been a few moments in time recently where I've made a decision and I've thought, ooh, that's not who I am. Do I know who I am? Do I trust myself to know who I am? I think the biggest thing was trusting myself to know, yes, this is who you are. Your heart's in the right place. You're doing the right thing. But I think that the biggest thing for me is trusting me, having enough awareness that I'm like, okay, yeah, you trust yourself. And I think that there have been moments, and I know it sounds really, it's really open, okay, where I've actually looked myself in the mirror and been like, who are you right now?
Yeah,
we don't know you. This is not you. Get it together. Because in moments of down moments, you make decisions to make yourself feel better. And those decisions might not align with your morals or who you are. Because you're like, it's instant gratification. Like, I'm going to post this picture. I want people to comment on it because I want people to tell me how awesome I am. Mm-hmm. But that's not you loving you. That's not you trusting that you're a badass. That's you reaching out to other people. Know who you are well enough to know, yeah, you're going to post a picture. You're going to say this. You're going to do this. But you would love yourself regardless. I think that's big for me.
Right. So it makes a big difference for people between using social media as marketing or a tool to share your life with others versus just needing some type of feedback to help you feel better about yourself. That's a great point. That's a really good point.
Here's a really big ick, okay? I'm about to ick some people out. And judge me if you want, but thank you, Kelly. I'm about to give some self-awareness that some people, the biggest ick I found in myself recently was somebody walking down the street in downtown Columbus. I was walking home. I had my booty shorts on. I just got out of the gym. I was feeling good. Okay. Somebody said, you are hot, and commenting across the street. And that made me go, and I thought, ew. I was like, ew, you do not need validation from anybody else that you're a hot piece of ass. You know that you are.
Listen, it's okay. Listen, I used to think here, look, no, here's the difference. This is so funny. When I was your age and someone would hoot and holler, giddy up, I would be like, ew. Now I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yes, Ken, it is hilarious. You're rolling right now because I was icked out by myself. I was like, ew, Tori. Yeah, you should know better. You should know that, like, my point is, on a serious note, that should not change your attitude about yourself. That shouldn't, a person commenting on your picture on you or anything, even about something about your personality, shouldn't make
or break you.
Make or break that day for you. You should be like, okay, thank you. Like, you should be grateful and be nice, but don't be like, oh my God, now my day is made. No.
I totally agree. Okay, so now is the time for questions. So if you're listening, when I ask this question of Tori, she's going to answer it, hopefully. But you think about it for yourself, too. Ken Walls is getting a kick. I'm laughing because I'm the one that was hollering. Didn't realize that was you. That's so funny, Ken. Okay, so, and you don't just like shotgun answer. You can think about it if you don't know. Okay. What is the best advice you have received? Don't buy the dog. And she did it anyway. What is the best advice you have received?
It was a Steve Harvey quote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Way to go, Steve.
Okay, so let me tell you something. As a single person, a single chickadee out here, I have a problem with that. Oh my
Just
god.
keep talking.
I have a problem with giving people a bunch of chances, not just romantically, but friendships as well. I've always had an issue with giving people excuses, giving people, the benefit of the doubt more than once. One time, she's gonna keep going.
Okay, so you keep talking, and then I'm going to answer for me, and you can go bang on the crate.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so the quote is, "Don't let somebody tell you twice they don't want you. Don't let somebody tell you twice they hold on." Oh my gosh, Naomi.
I don't know. So I was thinking about this. What's the best advice you have received? It would be crazy to say that there's one best advice that I've ever received, but I think that being able to know who you are and be okay with it, make positive changes along the way, but to be able to be okay with who you are, which is what Tori and I were just talking about, and liking yourself. Sounds like, okay, that's like random, like that's a generalization, but it's so true. There's so many layers to it. Okay, so you're saying don't let someone tell you twice.
Don't let somebody tell you twice they don't want you. And it's a lot of people put it romantically. Let me take it out of the romantic part, because we hear that all the time. Like I said before, had an issue with saying, this person treated me badly, and they basically, through their actions, told me they didn't want me. Or like a friend, they didn't invite me somewhere. They didn't take the consideration of my feelings. They said something hurtful. They did. One time, if someone misspeaks or something, give people grace. I believe in that wholeheartedly. But don't let them tell you that you twice they don't appreciate who you are, because you don't want to waste your time. Don't waste your time and your feelings on that person. That's what I would say.
Okay. So what would people be surprised to know about you?
I think I surprised myself sometimes.
We're surprised right now. Well, you kind of what you just shared publicly. People would probably be surprised to know, if they didn't already know that you've always struggled with anxieties.
I think people would be surprised to know that I'm actually, I think that I come off very stoic, very uppity, I think. And it's because I hold myself a certain way, in an anxious way, because I'm like, sometimes I have a lot of social anxiety. So I hold myself. I know you've said it before, Mom. You kind of seem a little sometimes like,
I'm like, oh my gosh, people don't even know the real Tori, the fun loving real Tori.
I think that I am the weirdest. Somebody at my work, Emma, I hope Emma's watching this right now. If not, I'm going to tell her to watch it for this part. She said she's a Cancer like my mom. Okay, she's great. I love her. I've known her like 2 weeks, and I love her. She looked at me the other day and said, "You were a weird kid, weren't you?" And I said, "What?" She goes, "You were weird. You were a weird kid." I think people would be surprised that I'm very weird, like niche weird. Like people would be like, "Ooh, we did not expect that from her."
No, like being obsessed with the Golden Girls and having every DVD as a young person, wasn't old as those women.
No. Oh, poor Ken's a Cancer. He's just commented. He's a Cancer.
That does not surprise me.
Very emotional, Ken. You're probably very emotional.
He is.
No, I'm just weird. I say weird things, and I make awkward moments more awkward. I think that's fun. I think it's like, this moment is so awkward, I'm going to go a step further. I think people would be surprised about that.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't think you're weird. I think you love to laugh, and you're like the life of the house when you're home. But when we get in social settings, you're like, and I'm like, you look like a total bitch right now. What is wrong with you? Like, smile for a second. Okay, can you take a compliment? Or do you say, like, when someone says, "Oh my gosh, you have gorgeous hair." "Oh my god, this ugly. Oh, it looks so bad today. Like I have bedhead." Or can you be like, "Oh my gosh, thank you."
No, I say, oh my gosh, thank you.
Okay, so you can take a compliment.
Yeah, I go, oh, Cassidy said it to me all the time. My BFF, my Aries BFF from law school. She says to me all the time, like, you have pretty hair, and just like that. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I can take a compliment.
Okay, cool. It took me years to I've worked like maybe in the last 2 years, I've been able to take a compliment.
Really?
If
Okay.
someone gives me a compliment, I'm like, oh, like even on my shoes, I got to tell the deal I got on them. Oh, I got a deal. My hair. Oh, really? You like my hair? It's just weird. So I think on the path of me figuring out who I am and appreciating me and loving myself genuinely has helped me take a compliment. How do you handle change?
Not well.
Do you
Not
want to
well.
elaborate on that or just not well?
I don't take change well. I'm very routine. Once I have a routine, it's like that every day, down to what I eat. Some people say, how are you sustaining like what you eat every day? I get like obsessed on a routine. So, and
You know,
it keeps me happy. I'm happy on a routine. Someone changes my routine or something gets thrown in the wrench a wrench in the works. I hate it. It puts me in a pissy mood. And it really does. Really, that's the biggest thing that can piss me off is throw in something in my schedule that I wasn't ready for.
you
Woo!
even do that to me. Like, hey, I'm in town. I'm going to stop by. I have
No,
stuff I have going on.
I have stuff I have going on, even if it's just going to the gym. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm sorry. This is in my head already. I've talked about my schedule all day in my head, and that's what it is. And on a higher, more or a deeper level, I guess, change. Going through the changes I've been going through in now almost a year. It has been the most difficult part of my life there's emotions that I've felt that I've never felt before. I call them very adult emotions, and sucks. And I said most days I don't take it well, just because I'm like, I hate this right now. And that's when I have to do affirmations in my head, because I'm like, okay, you're hating this part. There have been things that have happened where like I said, living with somebody else, and then before that, living with my parents.
And living with roommates in college.
In college, yeah, you're like, oh, this is something I have to do for myself now because nobody else is here to do it. Even that's hard sometimes. Even if it's just like taking the trash out, I'm really bad at that. Dad has to come up and take it out. He's like,
Whatever. Whatever.
Thanks.
The only change that I haven't enjoyed is menopause. No, I'm teasing. I've literally like when you guys were leaving, moving out, that was very difficult for me, but it changes other ways. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I'm good with like spontaneous? Let's do this.
Yes, you've never let it show if it has been hard for you. So I think that's one thing growing up, and a change that's happened to me is knowledge, gaining the knowledge that my parents are people too, and that you struggle too, but
Sure.
you never, Dad didn't either. You both are really good at, and it can be seen as a bad thing that you're really good at making it seem like, oh, it's fine, we're fine, when you're really not. And as a parent, that's something, a stigma placed on parents, where you're like, I have to keep it together because these little human beings I'm raising.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can't be walking around like flipping out, you know,
I mean, some people
to a degree, like I didn't want my kids to think like I felt like I just feel like I guess more of my question is being able to change with like when we're on vacation, like if something happened, we could just like I could shift and say, okay, we're going to do something else. Let's go. Let's that kind of thing. Okay, so and then hang tight, guys. We're going to show our favorite products. So this is the last question. What are the most important qualities you look for in friendships?
Oh, this is a great question.
Who's your BFF?
Okay, this is a trick question. That's definitely you. Here's the thing. I look for things that I lack. So It's so weird you asked this question because I saw a TikTok on it where um, people said, what you look for what people lack as a person to help better you as a person and your friendships and like everything. I texted Cassie right away. I said, things that I lack that you brought to my life: faith, confidence, and security in herself. She's very secure in herself. Cassidy, I love you. I hope you're watching, and I hope, or if you watch this,
I love her too because she's a great friend. Anybody
so
that's good to my kids, I
so I'm
love.
going to tell you something, people out there, that it was a realization for me. Is Cassidy corrected me the first time I met her on a it was our law school orientation. It was a mock class, and I said, "This is what I think." And every time I'd ever say, "This is what I think," everybody else would say, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." They would be yes men. And we were young. This is like high school and some of college. People are like, just go with the flow. Cassidy looked at me and said, "I don't agree with you, and this is why." Bop, 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 bop. And I was like, "I like you."
No.
I was like,
First,
"Hey."
you called me and you said,
He said, I said, "I don't think she likes."
you told me about this. This is truth serum time.
She said, "I don't think she likes." I said, "I don't think she likes me, but I appreciated it, Mom. I did." I was like, "You know
that's
what?"
true. I think you took it like she just didn't immediately like you.
I was like, "Oh, but I appreciate that. I respect that." Now listen, Cassidy is secure in herself. I look for that in friendships. I look for people who are confident. And the reason why it's really, 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 really important for you to look for somebody, especially for me, that is secure in themselves is they'll support you without resentment. I think it's really hard. I think that one of the hardest things to get past is being jealous of your friends for anything.
Yeah.
Or your family, because you love them so much. Why am I having this negative feeling? You almost hate yourself for feeling jealous or having resentment over somebody else. And I think when you're secure in yourself, you can say, "I love you. You're doing amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy for you, but I'm also happy for myself, and I'm good here." And I love that about Cassidy. Cassidy is strong in her faith, something that I felt like I needed more in my life. She's brought that back to me. Little truth serum, Candid. I know religion is a heavy topic. We're about to be into Easter, though. But I will say just briefly, I've been Catholic my entire life. I've never gone to any other church. I went to church with Cassidy. Cassidy is not Catholic. And it was a different experience. Make that up for yourself. And I cried at her church and said, I felt like God brought me there to be like, this is who you need to surround yourself with. You need Cassidy. This is why I put her in your life. Cassidy is amazing. Other things I find in drive, friends who have drive. Kristen has the highest drive I've ever met in my entire life. She is strong-minded and just amazing. She will make the best corporate lawyer. She's awesome. She is in the library more than I am, and she is always
library buddies. Okay, we got to move on because we're running out of time.
Wait, she also, I know I'm blabbing. She also is very thoughtful. Being thoughtful, having a thoughtful friend is amazing.
Yeah.
As well.
I always love it when you tell me, I met this girl. She reminds me of you, Mom.
Oh, Katie.
It wasn't Kristen. It was
Katie. Katie is the bubbliest. People who make me laugh, she makes me cackle. I love her.
Okay, so here we go. Do you want to show your fabulous finds for Find It?
So I went the skincare and makeup route. So if you're a girly, hey girl, hey, you're gonna need this. So run through the makeup.
Guys, don't leave yet. You can buy these for your mom, your wife, your girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah. So I have 5 makeup products. I'm wearing them all on my face currently. And one of them, this is Bliss tinted sunscreen. I put this on as a base every single day. It's amazing. And it just puts like a glowy tint underneath all of my makeup. I love it. Got it at Target.
Now, where do you find it? Target.
So these are two Rare Beauty products. This top one is a blush in the shade Hope. I love it so much. You can see it's like empty, crusty. I need to get a new one. I love that. I love the Rare Beauty concealer. It's amazing. I put it under my eyes. I put it on my eyelids. I have vitiligo on my eyes, so my eyelids are like bleach white. So I look tired if I don't put anything on them. So when I don't put any eyeshadow on, I pair this Rare Beauty concealer, which is really good, with my Fenty Beauty bronzing stick on top of my eyes, and then like pat it out, and you're ready to go, girl. I love this bronzing stick so much. It's
Where
good
else do you use that bronzing stick?
on the cheek to snatch these cheekbones.
So did you do that today?
Yeah, I did it today.
So you just roll that on there. Okay.
Yeah, and then I just tap it out, or you use a brush. I use a brush, but. And then this last makeup product, I have it on my eyelids right now. It's like a liquid eyeshadow with a little doe foot applicator. It's very shiny, shimmery gold. This is so easy to do in the morning. Just on and go. Love it. That is Mamaka.
Okay. So here's my finds.
Well, wait, skincare. I have skincare.
Oh, girl. Okay. Let's move it along.
Okay, I'm moving it along. Okay, I'll go in order of how I use them. My cleanser is from Coco Kind. You can get this all from Target, by the way.
Target. Pull it closer.
Coco Kind. Love this. It's the jelly cleanser. Love it. I'm moving quickly.
And all of this is animal or cruelty free, gluten free.
Some of them it's vegan too. This is Bliss, the same brand. It's a toner. It's a toner and clarifying serum all in one. It's really good. I use this, and then I use my Coco Kind acne serum. It's really good. She's really good too.
What's that do?
It's good for like spot treatment for acne to help breakouts. I have a lot of hormonal acne, so this helps a lot with that. Keep it at bay, keep it less red. Then I have my Bliss Quench. Mom, you love this.
Yeah, I used that when I was at your place.
She said it's very everything that I have dry skin, so everything that I use is very
emollient.
Yeah, and like dewy, and leaves my skin like, look how dewy my skin looks right now. That's all product. That's not my actual skin. And then last but not least, Aquaphor.
That's good for everything.
Yes.
Chapped lips. You can rub that. You can rub that shit everywhere. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Here's some things that I am obsessed with. And like Tori even said, the stuff that she has and she has shown you, she's bought multiple times. So it's tried and true. So here's something here. This is e.l.f. This is a primer. And if you have any, let's just say mature skin, I'm so mature. This stuff is amazing. It comes out and I just use the smallest little, and then you rub this. You can rub it all over your face, and I do, but I do it twice underneath this. And the thing I love about this than from others that I've used is it's really thick. It dries, but it stays flexible. I don't know. It doesn't harden and like crepe and like your makeup just glides over it. So I put this all over, but I put it like here, I put it here, and then rub it all in. Then I do it again under here, then put my makeup on, and it just helps mature skin under the eyes so it glides and it doesn't crepe. e.l.f. and it's actually called Power Grip Primer. It is really good. I'm obsessed with Lumi Glotion by L'Oreal. This stuff comes in.
I've never heard you talk about that.
I am obsessed. This comes in a couple of different colors. Okay. This one is 902. And you look how I did it before I came on. I kept playing in it and I look extra glowy. You don't have to do as much as I do. I got a little excited, but see where I even put it right here. I just took a little bit out and I put some here and I put some here. Then I do here, 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 where and a little up here where the sun would naturally hit you. And then you just Glotion. They call it Glotion for a reason, girls. I'm telling you, this stuff is really good. Okay. I'm obsessed. This is my second bottle of this. Then I get Merit, and this is a perfection stick. And let me see what this is. It's actually called the Minimalist. And mine is in color sand. And so what I love about this is it's a stick. And after I do I put a little bit under my eyes here and a little bit like right here. And I can cover up dark spots that I have and I just tap it in. But at the very end, after I'm done with my makeup, I usually go like another line right up here. And then I like dab it in and it kind of like lifts the eye. Good stuff. Merit. Mine's Color Sand. It's a minimalist stick. And the last thing I want to show you is Jones Road. And there's all different colors. It's called the what is it called? Miracle Balm, I think. Miracle Balm. And I have the colors Magic Hour, All Natural, and Tawny. And this one is a little bit darker, and you just put your finger in there and it just has a teeny bit of color. Now, the only thing about this is if you, I don't know why I'm using it right now, but anyway, if you have really dry skin, you're going to love it. If you have oily skin, you're going to hate it. It's very emollient. You just use like a little tiny bit. You can even use this stuff for here. Now, the difference is this will give you a little shimmy, shimmy, shine without like any type of crushed shine shimmer. This Glotion has like more of a shimmer. It's not glittery. You're not going to look like you're, you know what I mean? It's just more shiny than this. So this is Jones Road. You can find all of this stuff by just Googling the names of what we've given you. You can get stuff like this at the drugstore or Amazon. You got to go to jonesroad.com. And this is Merit Brown, Merit. That's where you can find it. Let me give you one more thing, guys that are listening. In your tea, in your coffee. I use it in my coffee. You can use it over oatmeal. You can add organic cinnamon. That means no sugar in it. It's just the actual cinnamon that's crushed. I get this brand, McCormick Organic Cinnamon. Every morning, I put a little cinnamon. I use other stuff too, collagen. I'll ask for another podcast. But you take this and you put like that much in, stir it up, and drink it. Cinnamon helps regulate your blood sugar. For guys and girls both, this is a great thing for us to do to start our morning out because spiking blood sugars, low, up and down, causes weight gain. Blood sugar, glucose levels, and all that. It's just, you know, when you're up and down, it's not good. So if you have cinnamon to start your morning, so good for you. So I would do that, just like a half a teaspoon. And with that, how we doing on time? I think we're right at
the. I want to say my final thoughts.
Yes, I do. I want you to end it and put her big, Glenn. Put her big.
Put me big. Put me on the stage. There I am. That's where I belong.
You're so shy.
My final thoughts, and I'm talking to everybody who's listening right now, and my mom, obviously. But I do want to leave on a positive note. I think that I love coming onto this podcast and being co-hosting, I guess, or being a guest or whatever with my mom. I think I can be open. I can be candid. I can be myself. And I think that the biggest thing I want to say is be positive, be a light in people's lives. You're appreciated. You're loved. And sometimes you don't love yourself, and that sucks, but you're working towards loving yourself. And there's people around you that can help pick up the slack when you need it. And I think that the biggest thing, and I know we didn't ask this and she didn't ask this, but I'm going to tell you that I chose to be a lawyer, to study to be a lawyer, to help others. And I think that my biggest thing that brings me joy is to bring joy in other people's lives. And I think that whenever my mom says, "You're the light of the house," that is the biggest compliment I've ever had, because all I've ever wanted to do was be a light in someone else's life and make their day better. So being on this podcast makes my day better because it makes me feel like myself and awesome. So just be positive, be loving, be kind, give grace to yourself especially. And
I love it.
Find your passion and drive towards it.
That's awesome. Trisha Harp. I love you, Trisha Harp. Thanks for watching. And I'm sure if someone has gotten at least some little nugget from this podcast that can help them, whether that's product
Don't get a Doberman. Don't get a Doberman.
Whether they know that you don't want to do a live podcast with dogs around,
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's totally fine. We
Or-
got through it, and we love you, Tori. And the biggest thing is love yourself. That's the key. Figure out a way.
Yeah.
Love you. So with that, guys, next week we have Barry Selby on. The love doctor is back in the house. Oh, Kelly. Ken Walls is in the house. Listen, we love everybody that is joining in with us and watching this later. Oh, Cindy. Hey, Cindy Talton. And we just appreciate the support, and we hope that we can share our light with you, and then you pay it forward. So we love you all. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week at the same regular time, 8:00 next week with the Love Dr. Barry Selby. Be ready to ask questions.
Love doctor.
Love doctor. All right. Have a great night, everybody.
That floats around me.